Part 1.
First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 6.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hi, welcome to the Carlton Hotel. How can I help you?
We've just driven up from London and we're going to stay here in York for a few days. We'd like to book a couple of rooms.
OK, sir. So for how many nights is that?
We'll be leaving on Monday morning, so let me see, that's 3 nights?
And you said 2 rooms. Who are the rooms for?
I'm here with my wife and 2 kids. They are 9 and 11. Sorry, 9 and 12. The eldest has just had his birthday. So we'd like 1 twin room for the kids and another double for my wife and I.
OK, well, we've got 2 rooms available, both en suite.
Great. How much are they per night?
Let me see. The twin room is £40 per night and the double room is £50 per night.
OK, that sounds reasonable. So what is the total for 3 nights for both rooms?
Let me check. That will be a total of £270.
And that includes everything?
Yes, that price includes tax.
OK. Can I pay by credit card?
Yes, sure. You'll need to pay for the first night now, and you can pay for the other nights when you leave. Or you can pay for all 3 nights now.
I think I'll just pay for everything now, as we'll definitely be here till Monday.
OK, that's fine. I'll just need to take some details from you to confirm the booking. Can you give me your full name?
Yes, it's Michael Fernsby. That's Fernsby.
And what's your date of birth, please?
The 15th of October, 1968.
The 5th of October, 1968?
No, the 15th.
Oh, OK, sorry. And can you give me your address?
Sure, it's 273 Stanton Court. That's Stanton. London WC2D 5JB.
WC2D 5JB?
Yes, that's right.
And your telephone number?
My mobile number is... Hold on, just let me check. I can never remember it. Ah, here it is. It's 08773 879 456.
OK, those rooms are booked for you then.
Now look at questions 7 to 10.
OK. I know we're a bit out of town here. Can you give me some information about getting into the centre of town? We'll probably head in tomorrow.
Well, you could drive in, but the parking is not great in town. It's difficult to get a space and is quite expensive if you're staying there all day.
Yes, we're thinking of going to look around some of the shops and to look at the wall around the city. So we'll probably be there most of the day.
In that case, you're probably best taking a taxi or the bus.
How much is a taxi?
Into town it will be about £12. Actually, no, I'd say it's around £15. Fares have increased recently. We can book it here for you and it will pick you up outside. It only takes about 10 minutes.
Right, I see. What about the bus? How much is that and where does it go from?
It's only £2 per person. It's not far from here. You go out of here, turn right onto Oak Tree Avenue, and it's about a 5-minute walk down the road. You can't miss it. The bus ride is about 15 minutes.
Oh, OK. Maybe we could do that.
Or you could walk, actually, if you like walking. Part of the way you can walk through the nice park, which is fairly popular with visitors to York. It's about 30 minutes, but it's quite pleasant.
Right, well, there's a few options there. We'll have a think about it. I'll go and get my wife and kids. They're just waiting in the car.
OK, no problem. Thanks for booking with us.
That is the end of part 1.
You now have half a minute to check your answers.
Now turns to part 2.
Part 2.
When Ava arrives at the student centre, she watches a television report on the European country of Estonia. Before you listen, look at questions 11 to 15.
Good morning, viewers. Today on World in Focus, we take a look at the small but fascinating country of Estonia. Can you see it there, to the right of your screen? Located on the eastern shores of the Baltic Sea, west of Russia, and to the north of Latvia, Estonia is a mere 45,227 square kilometres in size, which is, let's say, 3/5 the size of Scotland. The country is divided into 15 counties, 207 rural municipalities, and only 47 towns. The official population is 1,462,130, made up mostly of native Estonians, 64.2%, followed by Russians, 28.7%, Ukrainians, 2.7%, and Belarusians, Finnish, and others, 4.4%. The capital, Tallinn, in the northwest, as you can see, quite a beautiful city, has a population of just 420,470. We'll be back with a further look at this extraordinary nation. Stay tuned.
Next, look at the summary of part 2 of the television report and questions 16 to 20.
Welcome back. Estonia is a rather flat country. The highest point is just 318 metres above sea level. It has over 1,500 islands and more than 1,400 lakes. The chief industries are the manufacture of agricultural machinery and electric motors. Chief crops, grain and vegetables. Okay, now, you're probably thinking, why don't we know more about Estonia? Well, it could be because the country only gained independence from Russia in 1991. Each year it celebrates its Independence Day on February the 24th. The Constitution guarantees fundamental human rights, and Estonia nowadays is, in fact, a democratic parliamentary republic. The currency is the Estonian kroon, worth 1/8 of a German mark, or about 4.5 pence. The official language is Estonian, but given that the nation shares a border with Russia, it's no surprise that a great many people speak Russian. And so for the weather in Tallinn today. Estonians enjoy a mild climate in summer and can expect partly cloudy skies and a top temperature of 61 degrees Fahrenheit, that is 16 degrees Celsius. Back to the news.
Moscow. Talks today between the Russian delegation and the Vice President of the United States appear to have been successful.
That is the end of part 2.
You now have half a minute to check your answers.
Now turns to part 3.
Part 3. You will hear a woman inquiring about a media studies program. First, you have some time to look at questions 21 to 25.
I'm looking for some advice about doing a master's degree in media studies. Am I at the right place?
Yes, my name's Mark. I'm head of the Media Studies course. Nice to meet you. And you are?
I'm Louise. Nice to meet you too.
So how can I help you?
Well, I've seen the prospectus for the course, but I'm still a bit confused about a few things and about some of the options for studying.
What's your situation at the moment? Are you working?
Yes, I've been working as a journalist for a local newspaper for the last 3 months. Prior to that, I had 2 jobs in the media, at a small local radio station for about 2 years and at a TV station for about 4 years. So I've worked in media for about 6 years in total.
Okay, well that's useful if you want to do the course. What's your motivation to do further study?
I enjoy my job a lot at the moment, but I feel the opportunities for promotion are quite limited. It's not that I think a master's will help with this, though. I'll probably leave my job, maybe to go into TV or something, but basically I think wherever I end up going in the future, employers prefer to see someone with postgraduate qualifications these days.
And are you intending to study full-time?
Well, I'd really like to keep working as I need an income. What are the options for me if I want to work while studying?
You could do certain modules over a number of years if you like. It's up to you how many you do. Basically, you get credits for the ones that you complete. People usually do the Masters in anything from 18 months up until 4 years. It depends on your time. If you wanted a fixed schedule and attendance and did it part-time, then that would be a total of 3 years.
So what's the admission criteria to join the course?
Well, there are a few things that are useful but not essential. But there are some requirements. Usually to join a Masters, people must have a bachelor's degree. But we are prepared to overlook this if someone has enough work experience. But you must have one or the other. It's useful if you have research experience, as you have to complete a thesis, but we can train you on this if not. It is essential that you have motivation if you want to join the course, as it is very demanding.
Before you hear the rest of the conversation, you have some time to look at questions 26 to 30.
What about the costs for the course?
The fees for a year, if you are studying part-time, are £2,250. No, sorry, they've gone up this year, £2,400. Of course, you are paying for all other living costs.
Is there any kind of bursary or scholarship available to help with the fees?
Yes, there are things available, but you have to meet the criteria to get funding. Often, though, the university will actually contact you about funding. Universities have a certain budget available to provide funds, so they will look for the best students and offer them something if they think they will be suitable. You would have to have a firm offer in place to join the course, though, before you'd be considered for any funding.
Where can I go to find out more about it?
The best place to look for information about funding is on our university website. All the details about whether you're eligible, what help is on offer, and how to apply will be there. If you can't find the information you're looking for, you can always come and speak to us again, and there will be a number you can ring.
OK, thanks for that. And is it easy to get hold of you if I need to speak to you further?
Yes, I'm here most days, but you can always phone the office first to check. It's best to book an appointment in case I'm not around.
That is the end of part 3.
You now have half a minute to check your answers.
Now turns to part 4.
Part 4.
You will hear part of the orientation in which Ava is shown the college's computer laboratory. First, you have some time to look at the questions.
Well, as you can see, we have well over 100 PC computers, as well as 20 Macintosh computers set up for those students who need to produce high-quality graphic design work. Of course, maintenance of all these machines and the equipment that goes with them, printers, fax machines, modems, etc., takes up almost all of my time. So, we have a number of rules. All students are expected to follow the rules, or they will be unable to use the lab in the future. And just about everybody needs to use the lab at some stage. First of all, log-on procedure. All students have to log on. That is, enter their name and lab number before the program menu comes up on the screen. The reason is that if anything goes wrong with the machine, we can find out from you what it was you were doing when the problem occurred. And this can save a great deal of time when trying to solve the problem. Which brings us to the second rule. If something goes wrong, you mustn't just walk away from the computer or turn it off and pretend it hasn't happened. You must let me, or one of my assistants, know what has happened. And remember, we can always find out who was last using the machine. So, with these two simple rules, it becomes relatively easy to maintain so many machines. The third rule concerns the use of student disks. At no time are you allowed to bring your own disks into the laboratory. This lab is completely free of the need for student disks of any kind, because each computer is linked to a network, and there are 4 networks, each of which has its own file-serving machine. We don't want you to bring along your own disks for 2 very good reasons. The first reason is because of copyright law. It's illegal to copy programs bought by the college. The second reason has to do with those nasty little programs called viruses, which can do a tremendous amount of damage. So, no student disks in the lab. We therefore insist that you leave your bags outside too, which is rule number 4. Now, a network simply means a number of computers are linked together. In other words, can share information. There are 3 networks for the PC computers and 1 network for the 20 Macintosh machines. That brings me to the 5th rule. Students must only access the network that is set up for their use. One of the 3 PC networks is only for first-year students to use, over here. Another is only for second-year students, over there along the back wall. And the third network, on the far right, is reserved for third-year student use. The Macintosh computer network is reserved for second- and third-year students only, unless you are a first-year student of the graphic design course. Rule 5. You can only access the network that is set up for your level. All networks have printout capability, and there is a charge per page on the laser printers. The dot matrix printers, which of course do not give such good quality printouts as the laser printers, are suitable mainly for giving a rough copy of your work. They are free for student use during class hours. After hours, a charge applies. Now, class hours, as you probably already know, are from 9 in the morning until 3:30 in the afternoon, Monday to Thursday, and until midday on Fridays. The computer lab, however, is open an hour before class begins each day, and until 6 o'clock every afternoon, except for Fridays, when the lab closes at 5. Now, if you need any assistance with the software program you're working on, you can either look in the manuals located on the shelves below each machine, or if you're still having problems, you can ask one of the lab assistants to help out. In addition, there is always help at hand on screen, in most cases simply by pressing function key number 1 at the top left of each keyboard. Well, that's about it. I forgot to mention the computer lab card, which contains your log-on number. By producing your card, you can borrow computer books and manuals from the computer lab library. Okay. That's all I need to tell you at this stage.
That is the end of part 4.
You now have half a minute to check your answers.